Welcome to this installment of the Straight Edge Game Room. Today we're going to be looking at that classic arcade game of destruction, Rampage, on the Atari 7800, where you play as either a giant ape, lizard, or wolf. I didn't have the wolf, so I just made do with what I had. Let's get into it. Rampage. This arcade game really caught my attention as a kid because I was really into the giant movie monster genre, like that of Godzilla, Gamera, even King Kong. There are many ports of Rampage out there, and they're all pretty interesting in their own right, but I do like this one a lot. This one comes to you by Activision, and it's a pretty faithful interpretation of the arcade game, only you can't play 3 players at once. The Atari 7800 only has 2 controller ports in the front, so you're limited to 2 players at once. But that's okay, the gameplay itself is pretty faithful to the arcade game. The object of Rampage is simple, just cause as much destruction as possible and rank up that high score. You have many obstacles trying to prevent you from accomplishing your goal, but not in a traditional sense like many other arcade games. You're actually pretty much the antagonist, and everyone around you is trying to stop you. You got gunners from the windows, you got Unabombers that blow up buildings before you can destroy them completely yourself, and when he blows up a building, those are points that you miss out on. You're rewarded for causing as much havoc and destruction as possible. Your health can drain really quickly because you have everybody shooting at you from various angles, whether they be from the windows in the buildings, the helicopters, the tanks in the street, or even the cop cars. There are things you can grab out of the windows to eat which help replenish some of your energy, but choose wisely because some of them have the opposite effect. You can also regain some of your health by eating the people in this game. You heard correctly, you can eat the gunners that are shooting at you from the windows, or you can eat some of the people running in the street, but the boost in energy that it gives isn't very significant. As I stated earlier, this is a 2-player game, but sadly I didn't have a second player to show you that. Here's some footage of the game demo to show you what that looks like. The cool thing about this game is that you have infinite continues, so no matter how many lives you lose, you can always come back on the blimp. Or hanging from underneath it, rather. Another thing to note about this port of Rampage is it's not like the NES or the Sega Master System version where they have endings. This game loops continuously. I was playing this game for almost 90 minutes and I was starting to wonder, does this game ever end? So I looked it up and I found out no, it doesn't. I thought it was going to be something like the NES or the Sega Master System versions, both of which have an ending. But nope, I was wrong, but that's alright. The good thing about this port of Rampage is, if you got a lot on your mind, and you just need to play a game to relax and sort things out in your head, this is the great game to do that to. Just sit down, relax, let some of the cares of the day wear out through the mass destruction you're causing on screen. Who knows, in the future this might be one of those games that I play with the TV muted while I listen to the Bible on audio. This game can be fun and relaxing at the same time, but too much of it can become monotonous. This is a great port of Rampage, however, collectors have driven it up to $55 and up. The Atari 7800 has a very limited library, and Rampage is one of the more rarer games. You know, fairly recently the Atari 7800 has made a resurgence and some of the games have been re-released. Hopefully Rampage can get a re-release at a much more affordable price. I think most of us who experienced a home console version of Rampage played the NES version, and that one's okay in its own right, but the Atari 7800 version is better. Rampage is a great addition to your Atari 7800 library, but I'll let you decide if that price tag is worth the purchase. Well, that about wraps up this installment of the Straight Edge Game Room. If you enjoyed this program, please like, subscribe, reference my video catalog for past episodes of the Straight Edge Game Room, and check out my playlist. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.